All right, Saturday, January the 2nd, and we're a few hours away from getting the car started up. It's about 7 a.m. Just going to do a bit of wiring this morning. We're going to add a couple grounds to our gauges so they function properly, and probably run a lead from the temperature coolant sensor back to the gauge or back to the voltage regulator, and probably have to have a little jumper for that as well. So we'll do a little bit of wiring this morning, and then we'll get all our cameras set up and wait for Lynn to arrive, check my wiring over, and then we should be ready to move forward. First thing we're going to do is probably set the distributor end float, and then we'll move on from there. All right, 9:55, counting down the minutes here to go live. Lynn and Nick are here.
Good morning.
And we've just gone ahead and wired everything up so we don't bore you with the wiring of the car up. I can go in more detail afterwards. So the plan is to do a live video and to do a sort of a roving video that I can upload afterwards as well. So I'm going to try to do both, although I don't know how that's going to work out. I do have multiple camera going, or will have multiple cameras going at 10 o'clock. I've got 1, 2, 3, and then of course the live camera, and then this camera that I'm holding in my hand. So should get a fair amount of camera angles, as long as we're not standing in front of them all the time. So we'll see how that works out anyway. So 5 minutes and we'll be live. All right, so unfortunately an unsuccessful start, but that happens in life. So we think the cam might be 180 degrees out. So we're going to start from scratch, which means I need to disassemble the front of the car. So I'm going to, Lynn's gone to get his degree wheel, and we are going to re-degree the cam and see if we can get this to start maybe later on tonight. So it is what it is. So let me grab the tools. First thing I got to do is drain coolant, remove the rad, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's now Monday, January the 4th, and if you missed the second live stream, we did manage to get the car started after all, after a failure on the first live stream. We had an issue with our cam timing, so we had to basically take apart the front of the car to get back at the cam gear and go through the process again, which took us about 5 hours to take it apart and put it back together before we did the actual start. But we're happy that the car has now got the engine started and the cam and lifter is broken in after a 20-minute run at about 2,500 RPMs. So that is done. So I think what we'll do today, if you did miss the live stream startup, we're going to do a bit of a startup here. We're going to probably empty the fuel can. It's almost empty from, I think I've done 2 other starts after the live stream start just to play around with the cam timing, not cam timing, sorry, play around with the carburetors and the timing a little bit. So I have run the car twice since then. This will be the third and final time that we're going to run the car before we get back to working on the body. So I figure I'll take a little bit of the video, little video of the car running, just in case you missed the live stream and you weren't interested in tuning in. So we'll take a little bit of that. Let me get it cranked up, and we'll give you a little bit of a sound of what it sounds like. All right, I think we might need some quick start on this attempt. Since I can't manually operate the chokes, and it's cold out here. It's only about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, about 5 degrees Celsius. So pretty sure I'll need the chokes for this to start. I'm going to give you a little bit of a shot of quick start, and that should probably help things out a little bit getting this started. So. All right. hooked up on the tripod at the back of the car. Probably getting pretty close to running out of gas. Alright guys, now is probably a good opportunity just to do an initial compression check, just so we can track how the rings bed in. We'll check it again after about 500 miles. So, got the compression tester ready to go. We're going to remove all the plugs. We're going to open the throttle wide open and lock it there. And we'll spin the engine up about 5 revolutions per cylinder, and we'll take the readings from there. I'll hook you up to the tripod just so you can see what I'm up to. Okay, ready to go on cylinder number 1. So engine warm, all plugs out, throttle wide open. We're going to crank for 5 revolutions of the engine, and then we'll check the compression reading. Here we go. Let's hook the battery back up. Fuel pump is off. Coil is obviously unhooked. Actually, the distributor cap is completely off. So here we go. And then we'll come back and we'll check the gauge. And if you can see that, it's about 160 on cylinder number 1. So I'm just going to record that in my book as the dry measurement. We'll probably go back and we'll do a wet measurement, which means injecting a little bit of oil into each cylinder. So 160 for the first cylinder. So I'm going to do all the other ones and record the same way. We'll do all dry first and then we'll do wet. Okay, and for our wet test, we've got our oil can standing by. We're just going to do 2 little pumps on the oil can, and we're going to go through the compression again on each cylinder. We'll do 1 squirt at a time and turn the engine over 5 times and record the reading. All right, and we'll do one last shot of number 6 cylinder wet. So 5 cranks of the engine. And I'm pretty sure you didn't see that because it looks like the gauge spun around, but show you here if you can get this in frame. So we're looking at about 185 there. So there's the wet test done. I'll bring you back and I'll show you the data page in just a second. Alright, number 1 with 2 squirts of the oil can injected into the cylinder. 5 turns. I don't know if that jumped out of frame or not. Probably did. So we're looking at 180 for cylinder number 1. Wet. Alright, here's the tail of the tape for the compression test from January 4th. So there you go, wet and dry for number 1 through 6 cylinders. So I guess the numbers aren't as important as the variance is. You're looking for a variance of less than 10% between the cylinders. So I think we're pretty good there. So we'll keep an eye on that, and again, we'll do another compression test after 500 miles, and we'll see how the rings are bedding in. Alright guys, we have the chassis back on the ground, and the garage swept out, so it's looking a little neater and cleaner in here. Tools have been put away, and we're ready to move on to the next phase of the project, which is soon to be taking it back apart. First thing I want to do though before I do that is, as mentioned, I have this digital air-fuel ratio gauge, and obviously the sensor to install, which I have here, and I've got the bung here that I'm going to have to weld into the exhaust for that. So I'm just trying to look for a good location for that, and according to the directions, they need to be mounted between 9 and 3 o'clock, and a slight up angle so as not to be damaged by water or condensation. So I found an area I think that's going to be the best. I was trying to get it in the collector here on the right side, but it looks like I'm going to have to go on the left side and run it across the car towards the driver's side. So be it. We will make a mark there on the collector, and eventually we'll drill a hole and weld the bung in. We're at the disassembly phase anyway. The carbs have to come off to get the body on, so they can come off now, which will enable me to get the exhaust header off. The exhaust header I've decided is going to go to be ceramic coated, so that's got to come off anyway. And remember, the exhaust needs to come off anyway for me to weld this here at this joint, and then of course paint the rest of the exhaust. So that's all going to be done anyway, so I don't feel too bad about taking it apart again. So we'll just go ahead and do that now. Alright, theme of this build, moving backwards to move forward. So carbs are off. The entire exhaust is now back off the car. There's the mid pipes here that need to be welded, and that bung's got to go in for the oxygen sensor. Here's the header, and probably get a better idea of how poorly the paint fared. So that's why we're going to get it ceramic coated. Only those 2 tubes. The other 4 tubes look relatively unscathed, so just the 2 rearmost tubes, and of course the exhaust is now dropped off the back. The back section is on the ground underneath the car. So anyway, we'll probably plug up the intake and exhaust ports just so no mice want to migrate to the inside of the engine, and obviously going to need another intake and exhaust gasket, which is no big deal. So put one of those on order, and we're going to have to wait for the header to come back from ceramic coating anyway, so I'm sure that's going to be a couple weeks for that to be done. And we need to move on to the body anyway, so that's probably a good time to get it done. I can also work on welding those mid pipes up, and like I mentioned, putting that bung in, so that'll keep me busy for one evening at least. So that's it for now, guys. I think we'll upload for where we're at, and we'll get back out here tomorrow after work.